Hello, writers. Today we're going to be talking about chapter titles. I am so excited that there are so many things that we know about from our lives that we can teach other people. You're going to choose one of your topics, and it's going to be your first teaching book. So, today I want to teach you that writers get started on their drafts by closing their eyes and picturing their chapter titles. They zoom in close with their camera and think, what do I see? What can I teach about? And I'm going to show you with my topic that I've been working on. So I want you to see how I picture my chapter titles in my mind, how I zoom in close and think, what do I see? What can I teach about? So here you're going to see my everything I know about paper, everything I know about topic papers. Let me just make that bigger so we can see it. So I know a lot about yoga. That's going to be my teaching book. And I took some time and filled in all the boxes, everything I know about yoga. So yoga in the center. I know about the health benefits, the equipment that is needed, what to wear to practice yoga, how many times to practice a week, where to practice, different flows of yoga, calm or yin, which is a slow yoga, to refresh, which is like in the middle a bit faster, and then energize, which is a faster yoga. How it builds strength and muscles, how it helps mental stress and calms you, music that you can listen to while you're practicing yoga, and then different poses. So I filled in all of those boxes about my topic of yoga. Minimize that. So I am going to take these ideas and think about my table of contents. When you are thinking of your table of contents, you want to look at all your ideas. Not necessarily will all of those boxes be one chapter. I feel by looking at those and zooming in on them, I can combine some of those boxes to make another chapter. Now, you can do this in two options, okay? You can use the digital table of contents, which will be in our Google Classroom, and then you can type in the names of your chapters. Don't fill in the page numbers because we don't really know that till our book is finished. We don't know how many pages we're going to have. So that part we're going to leave blank. Now, I have lots of lines here. You might not necessarily have all these lines filled with chapters. Okay, so you can use the digital, which will be in your Google Classroom, or you can use notebook paper. And I just took some notebook paper, stapled it together. I'm going to keep the first page for the title because of the cover page, because that's going to be the one that we'll do at the end. All right, so here we have our paper. Now at the top, I'm going to write table of contents. Table of contents. Now I'm going to go back to my chart here and think about the chapter. So as a writer, we want to zoom in, picture in our mind how those chapters will be, and think about, could we combine any of those boxes? So looking closer at health benefits and how many times to practice a week. So there's a certain number of times you want to practice yoga to find any health benefits. So those two ideas, I feel, would be one chapter. We can put those together. So I'm going to make that my first chapter. I'm just going to call it Health Benefits. And then in this chapter, I'm going to talk about how many times to practice a week. Those are going to go together. Okay. So now let's move to, I kind of think that like the equipment, what to wear, and even like where to practice. Those three ideas can go together. Zoom in. So there's certain equipment that you need, which would include what you wear, and then where to practice. I could put where to practice and music together, but I don't know. I'm thinking that I'm going to keep all those ideas. So equipment needed, what you wear, those definitely go together. Where to practice and music together. When I zoom in, I just feel like equipment, what you wear, and what you need to practice yoga should go together. And when I zoom in closer, I think where to practice and music will go together. So let me put those two ideas again. I have to think of chapter title. Equipment needed, what to wear. I could call it what you need. That's gonna be my next chapter. What you need to practice. What you need to practice yoga. Let's do that. And so that would be the equipment and what you wear. And then I'm going to take where to practice and music and put those two together, because I feel like where you're practicing, whether it's in a studio or maybe you're at home somewhere, the music is important. So those two things go together. So let's see, where to practice and music. I got to think of what chapter could I call it. Where to practice. I could just call it practice yoga. Now this is a draft, so if I come up with another idea when I come back to my writing, and can always change that, we know that. So practice yoga, which I'll include the music in there. Now let's see, I have different poses and different flows of yoga. I definitely think those two go together. So different poses and the different flows of yoga, because that's really different. Sometimes people don't like yoga because they think, oh, it's too slow, I don't like it. But there's different classes you can take that might be a better fit for you. And then the poses, you hold them for a certain number of minutes, depending on what kind of yoga you're practicing. So I think I'm just going to call it poses, my next chapter, because then I can talk about the poses in that chapter, and then I can also come and talk about the flows of yoga. So let's see now, do I have the health benefits? I talked about equipment, what to wear, how many times of practice, where to practice, different flows. So now I have these next two, how it builds strength and muscles, how it helps mental stress and calms you. So I could call that how it helps you, how it builds. So both of those are helping, whether it's your mental or it's your physical. So I could just call this chapter how it helps. But how is that different from health benefits? I really want those chapters to be different because I don't want health benefits, how many times to practice. Well, although I could combine those, but I really want to talk about how yoga has a mental health to it and a physical health. Maybe that's what I can call the chapter, mental and physical, and just leave it like that, because I want to talk about the benefits of mental health and physical health, but I want it to be different from health benefits and how many times to practice a week. So when I zoom in on those ideas there, I see that they're different, because that's how I want my chapters to be. So now I have 5 chapters. So I'm just going to put a little box here, because this is where I'm going to put the page numbers where you'll find this chapter. But like I said before, we're not going to fill that part in because we want to wait to the end. We don't know how many pages we're going to have and the numbers of our pages. So this is one way on notebook paper where you can take your Everything I Know chart, where we can take our Everything I Know chart, all of those ideas, zoom in on them, and create our table of contents. Or you can also use this table of contents and you'll just type it. This will be in our digital Google Classroom. So there's those 2 options for you. So writers, this is going to be your task for this week, to take your Everything I Know about one topic and fill in all of those boxes Then take those boxes and create your table of contents. I'm so excited to see what you come up with while you're working on this and really zooming in on your topic and how you can teach someone about it. Have a great time writing, and I'll see you soon. Bye.